Good evening, Sean.
Hello, good evening, Dave.
How are you doing today?
I'm all right, despite what that intro and might have made you believe.
I didn't judge you at all by your hello. Maybe some of our viewers did. I doubt it very much. But tonight I bring you Omno. Omno?
No, yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce this because I've seen it a bunch.
Yeah.
It's like you see the word and you don't actually hear anyone say it.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we have a new follower. Thank you very much, Fragilities. Thanks for following. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was talking to Kath about it earlier. She always asks, what are we going to stream tonight? And I said, no. And she was like, oh, like, om nom nom. That was what. That's what.
Om nom
nom. Yeah, is it GIF or GIF? That's the question.
It's definitely. I was going to make the joke, but actually, you know what? It's not funny. It's GIF.
It's just not funny. Sean has stamped that out. He says it's not funny. All right, so that's Dave Soft been told. Good evening, Frozen. Evening, Dave Soft. So I hate to start a stream with a gripe. All right, but I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm totally putting my hands up and saying there might be a really good reason for this. Okay. But I can't lower the volume of the game in options. All right.
Okay.
Like it was such a there's no there's just nothing, right? Unless I'm missing something, which if you see something, please tell me, because this is just such a fundamental thing I do for Pillbug Stream so that I can hear Sean really clearly when we're chatting alongside playing a game. I don't have to fight the game to hear you, Sean. And I can faff around in Discord, which I might do anyway, real quick.
Or faff around in the Windows mixer as well.
Yeah, but this is ridiculous, right? I shouldn't have to do that in.
Yeah, and okay, so I'm gonna say this is a one dude joint. So he gets a pass.
He gets a pass, okay. But it is a game on Microsoft Game Pass. That's what I picked it up.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I just think
so you get a pass, I get a pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of passes going around, and one of them should have resulted in being able to adjust the game volume. Like the fact I can mess around with all these other options, like I can change the volumetric fog, suggests some thought has got into this options menu. And I'd just like to change the volume mixer. Maybe they're banking on everyone being clever like you, Sean, and not an idiot like me, and just doing it in the Windows volume mixer, which is exactly what I've just done. But you know, there we are.
Yeah.
Turn the telly down. Indeed. Okay, so you've seen a little bit of this already, Sean. I've kind of been following it with some interest on Twitter as well and other of the socials, because it's so pretty. It GIFs so well that how could your attention not?
I can ban you, right? Do I have that power? Can I just ban you from the stream?
Yeah, you probably could. I mean, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because then you'd have to do them all and you'd have no one to play co-ops with. But here we are. We are playing. I'm going to boot up Om Nom Nom.
Okay.
Which is what I'm going to call it from now. All right. There's no two ways about it. So I haven't played a single minute of this in classic Dave style, because I assumed it was kind of going to be a nice, platforming, story-led, beautiful, stunning game. Not like one of Sean's factory games where you have to put in 20 hours before you even know how anything
it's after
works.
the first 60 hours is when it gets fun.
Exactly. So I've already figured out that A is jump, and I'm assuming that's all I will need.
Ooh, that's a good looking game.
Yeah, it is. It's looking at birds, chasing at birds.
There's a really nice tilt. It's like kind of tilt shift, but not tilt shift, and God, it's a looker, isn't it?
I mean, it really is.
It really is. Yeah.
So no story so far. I've just woken up
No story.
Yeah, yeah, it could be an intro story.
You just woke up.
I just woke up. It's classic RPG. Dude wakes up in
Mhm.
like completely weird wilderness areas with
I
something
think there's a lot
magical.
of environmental storytelling going on here. You know?
You think that there is? All right, go on then.
Yeah.
Inform
Well,
us
like,
of how the environment is telling a story.
there are these, the reeds that are like, some of them have grown and others haven't grown as much, which makes us all reflect on our own mortality.
Yes, and the checkpoint, that class.
He's not wearing shoes. That tells us a lot.
It's true. This is our journal. Okay, glyphs.
Yeah.
Don't know what they are. Creatures. Friglets, shy creatures fond of swamps and boggy water. All right, cool. You do you. That's cool. Boggy water. Someone's got to like boggy water. What's this shimmering business here? Don't know. Just shimmered away.
Opening my door. But I'm back.
All right. Okay, good. Got an old ledge action. Ledge leap.
I want to just quickly go back to something I saw Dave Soft say, which was that they have a quit to desktop option, but it's weird because what console game has an exit option? Now, one of the first reasons we failed certification for Cycle 28 on a particular console was that we put an exit button in. Because they don't, and I was so like completely not ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this dude.
This dude's pretty loud. Look at him. Yeah. Marula. Semi-mythic. Only semi-mythic because we're looking at it. Glimpsed only rarely, perhaps once in a decade, and we just get that straight away. Subject to many stories. There we go. All right. And he's... I hope this guy's got more to him than he's just a way for me to jump across from one bridge to the next. Yes, he does. We're going to ride this fella.
Oh, nice. Oh, late title card. That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've already connected with this character and world before.
Yeah, we know that he's barefooted.
Yeah. And we know it's Omno.
You know what I thought today?
Oh, I can actually move this around.
I'm not going to be able to lecture with bare feet again for a while. Like if we start lecturing in person again.
I say lean into it. Like make it your thing. Like and let the students see you take your socks and shoes off. Like when the lecture starts or when they're coming in the room. And you'd be that guy.
Do I like throw them into the crowd like I'm a pro wrestler or something?
Yes. Yeah. I've jazzed this up. Then we got some. Okay.
Ooh, do I dare to croc? That's a good. Yeah.
No. Yeah. The light. Okay, cool. So that's still there.
Yeah. I painted a living room last week, and I could have worn Crocs the entire time, but I struggle wearing them for a long time. True story.
I mean, the struggle is real by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
so
I got paint on my trainers, is what I'm saying.
Oh man, some people have real problems, Ashon. So these are the Wackalumps. Strange, ageless beings. Some say they are more plant than animal. But not I, sir. Not I. Okay. They're making kind of cute Wackalump noises.
Yeah, they look cool.
They do look cool.
I do like this rule that if you just add eyes to anything, suddenly that it's cute.
Truth. That is the truth. So, this is the Aqua Pit. And Aqua Pit. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pressing Y. I appear to be holding my staff up. Holding Y.
Aqua Pit is 0%.
Yeah.
Yeah, full crowd. Nice to see everyone.
Good evening, everybody. I think it's because we took a break last week, and like people are like, oh god, my week is terrible if I don't watch Pillbug.
Can I? Is this a time I could tell a story?
I think so.
Okay. So we did the farming simulator stream a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, loved it. Yeah.
And I talked about like my experiences as working in a maltings.
Yep. That was transformational for so many of our viewers.
I don't think I actually talked about the time I got someone fired. And hey, Dr. Cloud. So, did I talk about the time I got someone fired?
No, I think I would remember that.
Okay, so I got someone fired.
Okay.
It was a lorry driver, and he was being a dick. And so I said, like, we don't need to get into the reasons why, other than he was just being quite aggressive to me as a student.
Right.
Like a student summer worker there.
Yeah.
As you can imagine. Like he threatened to just put all of the grain in the middle of the car park because I was the only person left. Nasty stuff. And so I kind of said to my boss, right, I am no way going to do anything with that person.
All right.
And so they said he wasn't allowed on and he got fired. Now, that was years and years and years and years and years ago.
Right.
Like 12, 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Do you still feel
My dad's
guilty?
been working. My dad's been working there like since I was 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he has recently moved to the department where I worked. And they referred to him as Sean's dad because they all apparently still remember me as being the person who got that person fired and had all those health and safety issues solved that I mentioned last week on stream. And I was talking to him on the phone like a few days ago. And yeah, it was just weird that we were talking about that on stream and he was like, yeah, they all still remember you.
Nice. Well, I guess not. Yeah, like how many people get other people fired, Sean? Like,
yeah,
not loads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a nice sit down in this lighty bit.
So what? So have you been like? What I find interesting about so this game is definitely, like we said, it's gifable.
Oh yeah, top gifs.
It's really gifable and it's done really well on a bunch of social media stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and but I never really got a sense of what the game is.
No. So, like, I can press a button here. That has to be to ride these things, but they're... yeah, like, I don't know. I'm just, like, mooching away through, like, a landscape.
Is that a rock?
Yeah, I can make it move.
Nice.
Lols. Yeah. Lappy crabs. It said that all stones were once alive, but they used to be gigantic beings big as mountains. Okay, cool. So yeah, all I'm doing really is just enjoying an environment right now. Like I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for all these things. The game's just telling me to press buttons when I find something. Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. Bit of story. I seem to be alone on my way. Still, I leave these messages behind for those who may wish to follow, for myself, for my memories. If only this endless rain would stop. Sounds like he lives in Cardiff. So, yeah, like I just mooching around an environment, like some pretty low-level platforming. Is there anything else to it? Not yet, but. Like I'm sure there will be. Got some kind of hints at a bigger story. I'm sure someone will have lost their memory. Like that's a given, I think, at this point.
Maybe. So yeah, so Dave's off kind of saying it's a similar Journey vibe, which. Yeah, absolutely. Especially like a lot of the GIFs I saw were kind of like skating.
Oh. Okay, well,
like a lot of skating on the sand.
Oh, I died.
You died? What? You died?
I think I died.
You died in this game?
Well, I mean, I immediately then respawned, so I'm guessing it's no MBD, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. This got
was
dark.
Not expecting mild peril when I balls up my jump, of which there will be many opportunities to see.
So what are you trying to? There's like in the middle.
So it's a classic kind of collection thing, right? Like this thing is telling me that I've got 64% of the, this part of the world done. And if you see in the top left there's these like 3 symbol-y things, 2 of which are lit up. And I'm pretty confident that through powers of deduction, this is going to make the 3rd one light up there. So, yeah, there we go. So, I'm guessing that will unlock something sweet. Well, let's have a look. Let's see if so we're 78%, which maybe means there's like more collectibles, or like I haven't gone. There's a tape over there.
How do you feel about like a game where you get told you've done 78% of the stuff, but we're not going to tell you what stuff? I said that in a way that made it sound like I had an opinion, and that's not what I meant to say. Just like genuine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think like for some games, like it's about how the degree of involvement and you want to have the player to have in terms of discoverability, right? Like some games will like obviously lean far away from that and say, no, you got to figure this out. We're not going to tell you anything, blah, 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 blah. And those tend to be less mass market. I think something about AAA games do very, very well, obviously, is make sure that you feel at all points you know what you're supposed to do and why. So you can kind of like slightly disengage brain. Whereas a lot of indies take a different approach and say, you know what, this is only going to be an hour and a half experience, but you're going to have to think the whole time. So is that I mean, that was just off the top of my head thoughts. Like, have you got like anything more interesting than what I just said?
I don't know. Like I kind of like to have a percentage, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I guess in my head I'm like, I'm never going to get to 100%, so it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke, you're not meant to leave the stream to go play it yourself. That's definitely not allowed.
What the hell just happened there? Okay, I seem to have unlocked super speed except for in water.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I did that, but it's gone now. Maybe it's like... So I wonder if this whole light business that I'm kind of collecting... Oh,
So are you collecting light from
all the like animals and stuff?
All right. So
okay,
like
so that's a temporary boost.
Kind of like you're trying to get in tune with them.
Yeah, like and noticeable right from the get-go, right? Like no combat. I haven't had to like. There's been some bug things. Like I haven't killed a single thing yet.
Killed anything?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. So it'd be interesting to see if that persists.
I mean, you've died if you like.
Well, I fell into some water and then respawned. So, like, if you want to call that death, sure. But nothing has actively killed me yet, other than my own ineptitude. So now we're at this position, like maybe. So I have a feeling I'm supposed to get through that gate.
Can you jump on top of that thing?
I think that this looks like.
Oh, can you bring the glowy stick to the?
Feels like. Hang on,
if you hold up that thingy, what's it? The stick.
The old.
Is it showing you a direction to go in? Because that's what Frozen said. The map. I've only just noticed that.
This is the map, yeah. So like this is.
That is sweet. That is a nice touch.
Yeah. And you can't move while you've got it up, but you can obviously like move over here and then like so it's kind of like a really interesting fog of war type thing, right?
Yeah.
So if it's suggesting like so I'm assuming this thing here is that pillar of light there. So what I'm not sure about is whether or not so it's lit up on my map as opposed to slightly grayed out. I assume that means I've done the thing that I need to do with it because it's all lit up, right? Whereas this thing over here, which is on my map too, was not lit up, does that mean like I haven't done the
I
thing?
get a feeling you do have to get 100% to progress here, right?
Yeah.
You can't progress, and it's... Is it that there's a weird ball?
Is it the ball there? Yeah, I'm guessing. But I thought I set that there by like getting it, and it flew off there. So I'm not sure that's really what's supposed to happen.
Look at those cool flamingo-looking things.
Yeah, let's go get a journal entry on those fellas. They're like flamingo plants.
The pitch I saw for this was it was just kind of relaxing, but this feels quite heavy puzzling.
Oh god, I died. It's only because I'm making it heavy, right? Like I'm sure someone else would be like, just do this thing. Oh, hello. Okay, so yeah, I had to go and touch it, I think.
Right, okay.
It's used the light from the things to fire it up.
Yeah.
And that's given me 100% in the old aqua pit.
Nice. So are those other things, the bonus, the things that you collected in the left, I wonder if those are optional?
Collected in the left.
So you got those 3 dots?
No, they were definitely part of getting to 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think...
Go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, Dr. Cloud asking about the Cycle 28 story, and I guess this, in a similar way to this, like, we tend to have quite a... how do you describe the storytelling that's quite... not, like, subtle storytelling? There's probably a better word for it, but...
Yeah, it's like deliberately trying to encourage you to focus on discoverability as opposed to feeding you exactly what's happening.
The idea is kind of you don't know what the story is in a way, like to begin with, and
you discover it for yourself as you go along.
You get it onto that other thing where there's the light
over here.
To get the block, does the block get charged if you bring it down to where that light is there?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, may well be there needs to be along this way. It's on a very clear like track, like this is the limit to what I can get it to do, but I think that means I'll be able to jump up to this thing.
Oh yeah, there you go. Jump onto that and then
do whatever this needs to do. Ooh, it lights my my stick. My stick is lit.
And then there's a thing on the other side, isn't there?
Let's see. I might have to bounce the whole thing back, but yeah, let's see if we like that and that. Yeah, there we go.
You need to push the
push the old block back. Pop. That's nice and satisfying. I am leaving Aquipit.
Yeah. You know, I think this game is like another one of an argument for how I say the hardest thing of any game is creating the menus.
Yeah, touche.
Because I feel like everything in the game is really polished and solid and good, but then... And
it was only a small gripe of mine.
Stuff, right? It was
only a small gripe. Yeah. I don't know. Have we answered Dr. Cloud's question about the whole stuck in a time loop, different messages thing?
No.
If we haven't, so think of it in the same terms as we do like Groundhog Day, or what's that new one, Palm Springs, which is the time loop film, right? Whereas yes, the world is looping, but the person who's like our central character for that time loop retains the information from going through different loops. So that's why the story can evolve and change and isn't the same every time. So, you know, like Bill Murray's character or the two characters and main characters in Palm Springs, they remember each time they go through the loop, which is what's happening in Cycle 28 as well. And obviously that means the player gets more information the more loops they do as well. Yeah, that's a
So,
good
yeah.
point, Dave. Soft. I
Yeah.
did. Maybe I wasn't paying much attention, but yeah, it was a bit vague about the deep water. But death seems to have almost no consequences, so maybe it won't be a problem.
Mhm.
Through a valley.
Mhm.
Ooh. So it's an interesting aesthetic, isn't it, Sean? Because it's not like voxel, but it kind of feels like it's
cell shaded, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they describe
but
it.
it's very blocky, right? Like it's like those
Yeah.
trees are blocks.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting
It's one of these.
decision.
This is one of those art styles where, like, I think we say it a lot. We've said it a bunch.
Mhm.
Is that most people would think, oh yeah, this is an easy art style to get right.
Oh no, yeah, I know what
Probably
you mean.
like absolutely not.
No.
Like really hard to make it look good. I think that's what is so impressive about this game is that the guy that's worked on this has made this art style work.
Yeah.
So can you dash across a gap now? Is that?
I can jump and dash, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
And that's satisfying. So there's lots of really nice. Like the reason this game
Jump.
looks so good, like it gifs so well, is
We're losing
is
viewers
the
every time
nice-
we say that. Just FYI.
yeah. Is the effect like the little pause when you dash and the little kind of screen shake at the end? It's like good camera work, great camera work.
And it's juicy, isn't it? That's the word we often use in this instance. Is juiced.
One of those impossible things to describe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How do you describe that feeling?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like kind of. It's a difference between like a chef cooking a spaghetti bolognese and me cooking a spaghetti bolognese. Like mine's fine, but like theirs is just a bit better. Let's be honest. And I think
yeah,
it's that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's like it's but with cooking, it's just they add a load of salt and butter. That's like how you do it, right? That's the trick. Is you just add like butter. And there you go.
That's what people go to chef school for, or whatever it is.
Yeah. You just add butter.
Just add butter. Lesson 1 and lesson the only one.
Lesson 2, salt.
Lesson 3, go out and make money. Lesson 3 is profit, presumably.
A couple of things. So is this game running with Unity? Seems it's got the style of. So yeah, okay. So naturally, yeah. Like so Dave Soft, I've seen your mention of Cruelty Squad, which has been on my list. I want to bring that game to a stream for sure. That game that's my kind of rubbish, or my kind of deliberately, my kind of, I don't know, like just ridiculousness. So is this game running on with Unity? The style or aesthetic of a game is influenced by the engine. I think you're absolutely right. It is. I don't know. I don't know what this is running on.
I should have checked when it booted up. I didn't see Unity specifically listed, but that doesn't necessarily mean.
Look. Omno game engine. It's in. Right. Okay. It's in Unreal.
Okay.
This is in Unreal. Yeah. I feel like you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Way. Like Unreal have got a featuring it on there. Yeah. But yeah, it's.
Yes.
But I see why you why you thought the kind of low poly.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of these effects are kind of the kind that you'd see in Unreal, perhaps. There's something. There's like, yeah. It's really hard. It's like back in the day, like I feel like you could sometimes tell the difference if someone was running like an Nvidia card or a like different graphics card. You might be able to just tell the difference because of the way it was rendering stuff.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with like the the engines for sure. I wonder if this is doing anything with like ray tracing or anything. I'm trying to look at because the shadows are flipping good.
They are
right?
good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's probably not doing, like... No, it's not, because I just saw you hovering over your shadow, so...
Yeah.
But that's because I was looking at it. Normally I wouldn't notice that. Okay, here's a question then, right? Here's a question. What happens to your shadow when you jump? Does it disappear? Because
no, it jumps with me.
No, yeah, but okay, so often, yeah, but it's not on the floor.
It is. Right? It is. Look at the distance in the world.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like, because I think a lot of people. Do you know the story about Super Mario 64 and how they couldn't figure it out?
Why didn't you tell everyone?
Okay, so Super Mario 64, like, so the Miyamoto's approach to making games is he often talks about how you make it feel good, make the thing feel good, the thing you're doing feel good, and spend ages doing that, and then just make a bunch of levels. So like in Super Mario 64, it's like making the run around and jumping feel good, and they were really struggling to get the jump to feel good, and it's because Mario 64 was the first 3D platformer. And what they eventually figured out was the problem was when they had a realistic shadow under Mario, you couldn't tell where the jumps were going to end. So what they did is that they changed it so that the shadow always just comes straight down from Mario to the ground. So you can always tell where you are in the 3D space because you can't. And that was like night and day, And so that's the thing. So that's why I was wondering where the shadow was and what they do with the jumping and stuff. Because I find because like Super Mario 3D Land, it came out on the Switch like a remastered. It was originally a 3DS game.
Oh yeah.
But so because it was a 3DS game, you had that perspective, and I don't think they included that shadow trick because I'm missing jumps all the time when I play it on the Switch. It's weird. I like almost can't play it. So yeah, Dave Soft isn't it definitely in affordance. Wow. We were talking about affordances earlier.
We were, yeah. I mean, maybe that's why I've always been terrible at jumping games because I'm expecting something different from Shadows. Who knows?
Yeah. Have you played Mario 64?
Yeah. Back in the day, okay. Yeah. I didn't complete it because I was just less excited by it than other 64 games. Like I just played a lot of Mario Kart and GoldenEye and Ocarina of Time.
Do you know what I keep wanting to do? There's like a Half-Life mod that is GoldenEye 64 multiplayer.
Nice.
And I've been trying to convince my friends, and what they've done is that they've implemented all the jankiness of that game, like all the weirdness, all the broken stuff, which is what makes that game so good.
Yeah.
And like I was trying to convince my friends to play that with me, and just was like, no way.
They were like, no, Sean, you can't be Odd Job.
No, we're gonna play Call of Duty.
Yeah, with its balance.
There's a dragon in the sky off in the distance. Did you see the dragon?
What? No, what?
There was a dragon.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Can't see him because he's flying into the sun at the moment. Cool. All right. So how are we doing on Agnia Plateau? 64%. All right. I saw another one of them balls over here.
GoldenEye, I think, was one of the first games. Probably one of the first games I really obsessed over. I remember like getting like Nintendo format or whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was called, 64 format or something. And they had the month they reviewed GoldenEye, they had like a step-by-step going through the first mission in the game, the dam.
Oh yeah.
And it was just wild to think that there were objectives in a game. Like, it was just so, like, I'm sure like there were PC games doing it, but like for me that was like just mind-blowing. And I remember just looking through that so many times that when I eventually got the game, I knew how to play the first mission, like
nice,
off my heart, so clever as well. Like the difficulty just changed. You had to do more,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Need to get. I keep meaning to, and maybe I had my week off, so I'm not going to do it. Like, I keep meaning to kind of look into emulation, because I want to bring some like. I kind of want to I want to bring some games that I had on my. So before my N64, like my Atari. Games I had on my Atari ST. So which, because I was like 7 or 8, I had no idea how to play, and like would have never gotten past the first or second level.
Oh yeah.
And like, I'd love to play them now.
Like
Like Cannon Fodder and stuff like that. Games like that I probably never appreciated as much, or yeah, I'd love to do that. I also there was something I wanted to do where, much like obsessing over in that magazine, like having a look at the games that were on the back of the box that I never played, but looked at and imagined what they'd be like. So the only experience I have of those games is what I imagined they'd be.
Oh yeah.
And then to go back and play them would be kind of cool.
That would be a great like vlog series, right? Wouldn't it? Like, stream series or whatever.
Maybe I will look into that. So Nacho's asked a good question. So what's it like dealing with pixels, margins, and hitboxes in game dev? Sean, speaking of shadows, got me thinking about positioning and stuff. It's like tricky. It's going to be my short answer. But that's where it comes. There's like quite a lot of challenge, because like Dave, you'll be doing the pixel art, but then I'll be trying to figure out how that would work in game with like hitboxes and stuff. So like trying to think. I don't know if you can think of any examples where we've struggled to do that, or
I think the key.
The
key is often about constraints and understanding why we, and replicating those constraints. So, I mean, we talked. The first one was obviously the player hitbox, right? That was the one we talked initially about, and you were quite clear what it needed to be, right? So, and that you gave me some artistic constraints, and that's fine. Like that's quite easy to do, even in characters that have arms and legs, which is the vast majority of them. You can manage the physical constraints quite easily. I guess like environmental hitboxes get more complicated, but for our game, like Making It Home and Cycle 28, they're much simpler, right? Like things with having hitboxes in those games are quite straightforward.
Yeah, like Cycle 28, everything's a circle. Spoiler. Or like that was everything's just a circle.
That's the constraint that you work within.
But it goes no. Well, no. What you do is you make it so fast no one notices. is what you do.
Is the answer? There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. But so Making It Home, there was some tricky stuff. With the more when we started adding like physicsy based things.
Yes. Yeah.
So like the boulders and the propellers and stuff, and particularly that came into an issue with the final boss. Which
the more like complicated systems, definitely.
Yeah. Nacho, if you can use that knowledge to get a high score, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a few things? So like we had some ideas for some bosses in Cycle 28 of like destructible stuff. I think I know how to do that now that Unity does nested prefabs. It kind of wouldn't be so hard. Yeah, I did like so. Dave, so say like there's some games like the hitboxes and like particularly like fighting games. The hitboxes can be amazing and like really tight and punishing. So what one trick as well actually is I always forget which way around it is, but you always make. Let me get this right. You always like make the bullet hitbox smaller than the sprite, and the player hitbox also smaller than the sprite, because you don't ever want the player to think they got hit when they shouldn't have got hit. So you always err on the side of that. But no, you can't change the. But then you got, depending on the game, it's different, right? But you see, like that's what you think about when you think about hitboxes and stuff. Is like not screwing the player.
Like how does the player feel about this?
I underappreciated game. Transformers: War for Cybertron has incredible hitboxes.
Heard it here first, people. Yeah.
Where you could shoot through. I think it was on Steam. It might have also been on. Maybe it was. I think it is one of those games where, like, back when like Activision would release a game and it would come out on every single platform known. It would be like on PC, Xbox, DS, and iPhone 2. You know, like it. But they were all different games, really, but just with the same name.
Yeah.
So I've got. It keeps popping up in my. You know, when Steam says, "Hey, you haven't played this in a while." So I keep getting that. But.
Ooh. Okay. They do move in herds, Sean.
Yeah. That's just a big cow.
It's been a while. It's impressive we've gone 43 minutes without a Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah. I watched the Jurassic Park documentary on Netflix last night.
There's a Jurassic Park documentary?
Well, there's the films that made us.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good. You should watch it.
Nice.
I was close to texting you and have to say, hey, there's a Jurassic Park documentary. But yeah, so Metroid and Transformers shooter on the DS. Yeah, so like the Metroid Prime. Was it Metroid Prime on the DS? I think no, because Metroid Prime was probably the GameCube one, and then there'd be the DS one that was like that. It messed my hand up. I couldn't control it because of the weird way you'd have to have this weird claw where your thumb. So what it was a first-person shooter, but you were using the touchpad to look around.
Oh yeah.
There was also stuff on the touchpad. Was there stuff on the touchpad you had to see? I'm not sure there was actually. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Very
these
nice.
guys are great.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he have a cold?
God bless you. Yeah, like so the vibe is super nice. Like I think it won't be to everyone's taste, but there's clearly a kind of harmony with the environment vibe. Like yes, you are occasionally startling animals into giving you various bits of light, but it's kind of, I guess, it's not quite symbiotic yet because I'm not 100% sure we're actually giving anything back to these environments, but you know, you're not killing anyone, so that's always nice.
So, okay, here's another nice touch I think I just noticed is the idle animation. Walk for a bit, and then stand still and turn the camera around to face the character. Oh no, it's not. It's just doing that all the time. It's always looking sides. It's always.
You think it was tracking where I'd been looking?
I thought maybe it was like when you looked at it straight on, it would play an animation.
Yeah.
And that's where things can get tricky with hitboxes, is with animations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something even with. In some ways, I wonder if hitboxes with animations in 3D might be easier because the mesh is the hitbox and that's moving with the animation.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't like to ever say anything's easy without doing it myself, but you know, I'm sure there's challenges and like you won't want your hit. Everything's hard, right? Everything's difficult. But
solving one problem creates others, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But like, so the main character in Making It Home has all sorts of different states and different animations in those states, but we want that the hitbox doesn't really change.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like you'll animate something, and then like I need to make sure in the game that the hitbox still makes sense because I don't know how to explain this, but like because the character might move in your animation space in your editor, right?
Yeah.
Like the character's center of mass would move within the animation, which means that the hitbox isn't valid anymore. Right?
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the smaller and simpler the character is, the less likely that is to happen, right? But
yeah.
Yes, fair. I think that does make a degree of sense.
Yeah. And so like the classic example for us is like the wall jump and wall slide.
Yes. Yeah.
Because then you're squished up against the wall, which means you're half as
Okay, that was annoying. I'm not sure I'm supposed to be up there, but
no, I don't think that was just
there's clearly...
so that's a little problem that is a kind of level design thing, right? Because those mushrooms look like they're things you should jump up and down on.
Well,
so
and also
there's a little ledge you can walk up towards it, right?
Yeah. And my bigger problem is not the mushrooms, it's the ledges. Like, because they look like I should be able to walk on those. And there's clearly something like there's a route there, like, right? It's so obvious. So what
I do a jump dash or something? Is there a way of skipping up here, I wonder?
I mean, there's a jump dash I've been doing the whole time.
Can you do a jump, turn around on that mushroom the other way to where you just jump dashed?
Yeah.
You might be able to get on the ledge there. Do you see it?
So yeah, there's like a ledge there, but I don't know where it's going. So, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Yeah. No, that didn't seem to like that.
No, it didn't want you to.
It kind of bounced me off.
Okay.
There's definitely a way up there, though.
Oh yeah, but is there though?
Yeah, it's like definitely. It's just finding the right thing to jump to. So like I can jump to this mushroom, right, and then I can make it to that rock. It's what happens after that rock, I think, is the issue. Or is it that ledge? Maybe it's that ledge. Let's try that. No, that ledge is no go.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave Soft brings up the Team Fortress 2 trick of the classic geometry trick of you try and eliminate as quickly as you can. So you have like maybe the first thing you do is check to see if the bullet falls within a circle or a sphere where the character is. Then you check to see if it crosses the mesh. That's more expensive, computationally expensive. I still like, man, games. Like how does anything work in at like 120 frames a second?
Yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah, I got nothing for this, Sean. I think I'm gonna have to go down. I'm slightly admitting defeat on a puzzle that I might otherwise have, because otherwise you're just gonna see me jumping out ledges for the next 20 minutes.
I bet you're gonna get some special power that means you can
get back up there. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Oh, the Mahala plane. This one. You remember the Mahala plane, Sean, obviously.
Is it bad that the first thing I thought is how much I really haven't had a curry in ages?
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But you should also rectify that because curries are great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was where that came from. What wasn't I love? So official name for this art style, Dave. Tell us.
Nom 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 nom.
like.
Like or light,
would say-
you choose.
Yeah. Well, do you upgrade as you go, or do you have to? Is it just skill based? I would probably it's cell shaded. You'd probably describe it as it's low. Yeah, low. I think low poly as well. This is a lo-fi might be a way you describe it, right?
Lo-fi, nice. Yeah, like it.
Mm-hmm. I like the cacti.
Yeah.
Everything is like everything's nice, isn't it? Everything looks kind of nice.
I think once you embrace this cutesy aesthetic, which we obviously have done to an extent in our own game as well. So like I'm all on board with cute. Like it's interesting like how many other decisions it then kind of determines. Like it's
something that has not surprised me. I don't know. Like something I have discovered recently, and more recently, is that like this cozy aesthetic is really like popular. Or, like there's a market for it. I don't know if popular is the right word, but there are people want this type of thing, and I think it's really good that this kind of feel is coming through, like this kind of thing.
I mean, I think it's happening in lots of different art mediums, books, films, whatever. Like I think film and TV is obviously where it's existed the most, but people want there is a strong drive, and maybe people are more open about it. Something they've always wanted is just like calm, joyful things, right?
Yeah.
Like, non-aggressive, non-confrontational, non-conflict based, whether it's TV, games, books, whatever. And it's not for everyone, and it some people will find it quite weird to wrap their heads around like why you would do it or whatever, but it's definitely it's a real market.
It's kind of strange, isn't it, that like it's weird if you're not running around killing people.
That is weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and that's like and to put all my cards on the table, I play a lot of games where that's what you do.
Yeah,
and I enjoy a lot of those games, but I often figure out why. For example, The Ascent, which I was going to ask Frozen about because I've seen that you've been playing it a bunch, is a game I would like to like check out.
Yeah,
we talked like because that's on Game Pass, and I'd heard the PC version needs some patching, so I have kind of like, but that looks like a really neat game, but it's a shooter, and but like, I mean, even in Making It Home, we kind of like, I mean, it's violence against fruit, but we did kind of.
We stopped and thought about that, Fruit deserves our respect too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Violence against fruit.
Oh, vegetables. I got it wrong.
Well, I mean, cherries too, though, right?
No, cherries are committing violence against you, so.
True.
You just push them off the vehicle.
Yeah, it's a bit dizzy. Yeah, it is a little bit for that. But yeah, obviously I'm not saying there's anything wrong with violent games or violent like books or whatever. I write pretty violent, horrific stuff myself, so it is what it is. But I think there's room in there's room in all those art forms for all those types of books and games, and it doesn't mean people are gonna stop making or buying shooting games.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing is remembering that it doesn't. People get a bit weird about like how Well, if you're making those games, you means you're not going to be making the games I like.
Yeah,
So, no,
it's just
so
no.
many. Yeah, it's fine.
You keep buying them, they'll keep making them.
Yeah. Talking of books, Dave.
Yes.
You published a book last week, right?
We did have a book published last week, yeah. So that was the third in the Tales of Finesse trilogy, last book in the trilogy, called Farewell to the Liar. And it's available in hardback, ebook, and audio on all your major retailers, including the evil Amazon and all your independent bookshops. Bit harder in the States than in the UK for independent bookshops, but you can get it on Amazon.com if you would be so interested. Sean, can you manage to find a link? This would be a good test for Sean.
I'm wondering, right? Like, I'm wondering if I can manage to find a link. Well, I tell you what I can do.
If he can't, he's not a real friend. Put it that way.
Well, no, I can search for DK Fields.
Yeah, that's a good start.
And I can see that you've got a blog spot, so I can paste a link to your blog spot.
Yeah, that would be the one I wouldn't choose, but yeah, sure.
No, you don't want me to do that?
I updated it relatively recently. All right.
Well, because I thought it's a trilogy. I can't just give it the latest one. Like,
true. True facts. Yeah.
Yeah, and then people can go on the can go on the blog spot and they can look at your first launch and see if they can spot me.
That's all. That's all Sean's interested in.
I just found me in the crowd. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I really wish you hadn't taken the picture from above. Like that's.
It's not our picture. I think someone else took that.
Yeah, but like, couldn't you have told them?
Who gave us permission to use the image? I should hastily add.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right, though. You're right, because like I too am suffering from the same thing that you're referencing, Sean. I dislike photos from above.
I'll be sending a GDPR takedown request. Right.
Good. Yeah, that'll help. That'll help the 3 people that visit my blog a year.
Yeah. Hey, there's at least 4 people here. I just doubled it. Doubled the year.
Kath will be pleased. Right, we don't want that.
So it's 3 books. What are the books that you should tell people what they're about?
Okay, so cool. It is. You want the pitch, right?
Yeah. Give the pitch.
The pitch. It is a fantasy crime trilogy, so a mashup of those 2 genres. And the shtick is, in this fantasy world, power is determined by the telling of stories. So every 5 years there's an election, and the 6 realms that exist in this world send a storyteller to the capital to tell their stories. You get each book you get two of these 6 full election stories, and they are chunky. They're about 30,000 words, so that you get them in full. So you get to hear what people in this world are voting on. Problem is, someone's gone and killed a storyteller, Sean. So someone needs to find out who did that. The most heinous of crimes in this world, killing a storyteller. And that's where our main character, Detective Cora Gorderheim, comes in. And that's...
Was it Gary?
Was it Gary? Gary did not kill the wayward storyteller. At least, not in the version we tell. But, if you want to retroactively, provide an interesting postmodern reading that it was, in fact, Gary the whole time, that would be interesting. So there you go. That's the pitch, whilst playing a computer game.
Some good multitasking.
Thanks, man. Check it out if you like that. If it sounds like your kind of thing. Do you audiobook, Sean? Is that something? Because you're a big podcaster, so are you?
It's something. Maybe it's something. I'm audiobook curious. Like I keep thinking about maybe trying it, but I don't.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there's just no good reason other than because I'm a podcast person. I am listening to lots of podcasts.
Yeah.
That I am behind on because I'm not commuting anymore. So, yeah. I'm trying to replace my commuting with working out and I can listen to podcasts then. But
Nice.
somehow that isn't the same amount of time. Like, so yeah, for some reason I'm not getting through the podcast that way. Like, I don't know why.
I love the idea of being audiobook curious. I think that should be like, it should be your, I don't know, Twitter update status.
So podcast that I am listening to right now. I'm going to open my podcast manager and have a look. So I am listening to the Giant Bombcast, which I've been listening to for like
Since they started.
11 years or something.
Yeah.
Nextlander is another one. So Nextlander is. Do you remember ages ago? Like you asked me about people who left Giant Bomb.
Yes.
Yeah. So those people all just started a Patreon, which I am a member of, and they started a podcast called the Nextlander podcast. I'm subscribed to some of these. I'm like, what even are these? I've possibly never.
So pitch the Nextlander podcast to me. What is it?
It's a gaming podcast. Like, I mean, it's a podcast about games. From, like, for me, it like people a similar age or slightly older than me talking about games, and that actually is something I kind of need, because it's people who have a similar. Well, apart from the fact their job is to play games, that's not really their job, but they have time in their day job to play games, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But they understand like
what you're looking for in a game.
What an adult is, and how, do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, do you really understand what an adult is, Sean?
What? Yeah, no, not really, but like they understand the idea of having a job and doing this sort of stuff. So, and also I've been listening to them for so long that I know what I'll agree with them on and what I won't agree with them on. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, I don't know. I would say it feels mature, and it's I don't know, just like, that's not a very good pitch perhaps, but if you listen to an episode, I think you'd get what I was saying. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm listening to Brad and Will Make a Tech Pod, which is a tech podcast by Brad, who is a member of Nextlander, and Will Smith, not that Will Smith.
Not that Will Smith. I bet he gets that all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
right?
That's literally what his Twitch channel handle is. And I think he had a big hoo-ha with the actual Will Smith about the Twitter handle, because being a tech reporter, he got that first. But he used to work for PC Format, and then tested.com, but then started his own company. And anyway, so again, someone I've been kind of following and listening to his stuff for a long time, so I know. But they talk about tech stuff, and they talk about like old tech stuff, which I quite like. So like they'll talk about thinking about when I listened to recently, what kind of stuff did they talk? Like they were talking about, like they did an episode on the Quake. So it was the Quake's anniversary recently.
Oh yeah.
So they did talk about like the old like graphics cards and what Quake did, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what makes these podcasts talking about games good? I don't know.
Sean just likes to listen to them.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's weird. Like it's. I guess like, I mean, I'm a member. Like, I'm basically like, I pay Giant Bomb. I'm essentially a member of Giant Bomb Patreon, but they don't have Patreon. Mm-hmm. Because they actually, like, a lot of people credit them as like kind of being some of the first people to like try and be successful with that model. Mm-hmm. of getting people to pay for their content. And I guess the problem is like that, or not the problem, but they all had platforms that they were getting paid for by a company at some point. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I discovered them. And then since then, I've just like, I've been watching these people. I like literally the Metroid Prime video review was by one of these people that I decided to buy it on the DS because of these. I watched their video reviews on GameSpot back when I was in university. It's the same people, and I think we talked about it last time. Is this feeling of, well, you had a name for it, but like you feel like they're a part of your social group. They're clearly not, but it's that way they're presented.
Yeah. Fair dues. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's just interesting, and like because they're a similar age to me, they kind of like the stuff they talk about. I can relate to, like talking about early internet and stuff, and then it's the thing of like, oh, I really like these guys, and I want them to keep doing what they're doing, so I'm going to pay them money.
That's what you do. That's clever.
Yeah, I think Frozen. Yeah, nothing in something. It's like that juice thing we were talking about. I can't explain to you exactly why, but
yeah. Figured that out. Took me long enough. But...
I'm also like they do the thing that I think annoys a lot of people. Maybe now with like I don't know. I guess the way, and I say this as someone who kind of likes TikTok now and kind of gets it, but like the 10-second clip is that they will talk for half an hour about nothing related to games. like
because it's personality driven content, isn't it? In that sense, you're there for them as much as what they're actually saying about the thing you are interested in. I
heard about Cruelty Squad on the Giant Bomb podcast. And like it's surprising, and as well, the thing I like about them. So if we're going to kind of like, why do I really like them? Is that they play quite a large variety of games. For sure. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that I did an internship or like work experience basically at PC Gamer?
No.
Have I never told you that? Yeah. So that was fun. Like I was there for like 2 weeks. Wrote a little bit of copy. Wrote a review for an NBA Street game.
Nice.
I think I still have the.
Can't you lose if you got any clout there? Can you not like say, hey, I did work experience? Can you do it
back in like 2001 or whatever? No, I don't think I have any clout there. I'm afraid, dude. I think I probably would have mentioned it a lot earlier if I did.
I was joking.
But yeah.
I once got there was an article, a 2-page, was it 2 pages or a whole page spread article about one of my websites in PC Gamer or PC Format.
Nice.
When I was in sixth form.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise is that they were absolutely making fun of me the entire time.
Ah, really? Why?
Yeah. Because I like basically I made a website that was a bunch of GIFs that were like that I made to do with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and how much I didn't like his wrestling style.
Wow.
And
that's a hot take. I can just hold this.
Yeah, and which
it's a legitimate
an opinion I've completely changed on. I've done 360 actually. Like,
oh really?
I'm a big Dwayne Johnson fan now.
Okay.
Super nice guy by all accounts. But anyway, so like I mean, and it was the most GeoCities ass GeoCity, like website ever. I literally bought a HTML for Dummies book, and I had some like free serve space or something. Yes, it was like YTMND. Yes, yes. That's a deep. Wow,
deep
someone
cut,
else knows what that is. Like that's, yeah. You're the man now, dog. Right? That's what it stands for. Do you know what that means? Then?
No, that's beyond me.
Okay,
beyond my.
Yeah, it was. This was before "You're the man now, dog." So you could say,
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so like I So yeah, no, like they because back then, you had to submit your website to like, you know, people didn't just discover websites on like Google, so they would have a monthly thing of like, send us your website, and yeah, I did that, and they're like, hey, we'd like to and they sent me this email saying, yeah, oh yeah, we really want to feature your website, and I was like, wow,
that must have been so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And
so I did this interview, except of course they were just like, they kind of didn't write the same questions that I asked. That they asked me in the email, and they really like, yeah, they were really.
That's not cool.
It's not really, but kind of funny now, especially because I teach web development. And I really wish it was a check out this loser piece. That's exactly what it was. And yeah, but like, I got traffic. So.
yeah. Jokes on them in terms of the number of your views.
So yeah, but it's just such a weird thing. I think back on, and like, it's not far off what we do now in terms of trying to get people to cover stuff. And like, I was writing emails to people back then, and it's just like, it's no different to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So
nice.
I wish I still had a copy of that, but
yeah. You don't have a copy of the issue? Can you get it on back issue?
I've looked for it. I have searched for it.
Oh man, that'd be good.
I can't find it anywhere. Because I wanted to have it as like a slide in my web development. My web development module would be a nice like. It's not on Wayback Machine. I don't think it would be like I don't know why it's not, but I think I have tried to look for it on there. But I might have another dig, particularly if you can see old. Oh, it has. Okay, so it might have my old Flash animations too. Like, yeah, that was the. Yeah, I moved away from GIFs into Flash. Oh, good times.
Man. Yeah, you should try and hunt it down, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I will try. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, surf. Ooh.
Oh, you got to surfing. Okay, nice.
Dear.
Go.
Yeah. This could just be what I do for the rest of my evening. Regardless of trying to complete the game.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump?
So what do you think?
You can jump.
What are you thinking? Like, it feels chill? Like,
yeah, like super chill platformer with like mild puzzle elements is great. Like dig the art style, obviously. Won't be for everyone, but I love it. Yeah, like I think that's what this is really nice. Like I think it's unsurprisingly, seeing as I'm rubbish at platforming, it's far more likely something that I will play than say Celeste, which again, beautiful game, lots of fun, great story, good stuff going on, but just like more punishing, like you actually have to be good at the game or to see it all or whatever, whereas this is just like, come here, I'm just surfing my staff easy at the back. Why wouldn't you want to like play a little bit of this and just see what, like, I'm sure we're just scratching the surface, right? This is only the second environment. There seems to be nothing to do here, which is great, like, because all I want to do, they've obviously realized like the first thing you want to do when you can do this is just mess around, so they're like not putting any game in your way to doing that.
I'm pretty sure this level was put in to take GIFs off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
Like this is what I've seen on all the GIFs is this level. It's kind of, but it is like, it's absolutely Journey.
Yeah.
So I think Frozen is with you on Celeste.
It's not that, I mean, I think Frozen feels stronger about it than I do. It's just that it's not the kind of thing that I'm going to spend time with. I don't get it. I think, Sean, you are closer to getting that kick out of overcoming the really challenging obstacle.
Yes, So when it didn't
Dark
save
Souls-esque.
for me, like it killed it for me.
Yeah.
Mm. Hollow Knight is not what I think it is it? Shovel Knight is the one I enjoy.
Yeah, Hollow Knight
Knight.
I bounced off of as well. Like the combat's like kind of cool, and the aesthetic again, beautiful, brilliant, love it. Just not what I enjoy out of a game, to be honest, these days.
Yeah, I want to play. I still
Same
keep meaning to just bring. I've got Dark Souls 3 on Steam. I keep meaning to maybe bring that to a stream just because of the experience I had with it. Oh, are you falling off? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that. I think I just took my I assumed the level was over, so I took my finger off the trigger and it just face planted me.
Okay, that wasn't meant to happen.
Clip that. Yeah, that was that. I think I like ballsed up my landing basically.
Let go of the.
Yeah. Classic. That's exactly what would have happened in real life too. The camera would have panned to slow mo, boom, face plant.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I don't want to give too much else away. We got to the surfing bit, and obviously it's radical. But so this is Omno. You can get it on Game Pass, like I did, or pay some real money for it. Whatever you prefer.
Oh, they got real money from that Game Pass deal.
I guess
man.
that's obviously true.
Real money.
Real money.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. They didn't give them Microsoft money. Is that what you're saying?
No, they gave Microsoft money. Like
Microsoft. So check it out if you want. I think it's loads of fun if you're just looking for a very chilled, like low effort puzzler with some low intensity platforming elements. If I can get 100% on a level, anyone can. Literally anyone can. So there we are.
Cool.
Where can people find out about us, Sean?
They can find out about us at pillbug.zone for all your Pillbug needs. And you absolutely should check out our awesome TikTok, pillbugint, I believe.
And,
I know it's fantastic. I just believe that it's pillbugint.
Oh.
Don't fall off the edge again. Oh, okay. That's a good place to...
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, everyone. Thanks very much. See you next week.
Yes,
Bye.
Bye.
Just stop streaming somehow.